Hello? Hello, hello, hello? Hello, hello? Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, youtube.com. Weather Channel song. Chat, we have breaking news today, man. Sup, Andrew? Breaking news. Chat! Have you seen it? I haven't watched a video yet. Breaking news. MatPat, goodbye internet. I don't know if it's real yet. I think it is real. But I saw this and I had to go live. By the way, when I was like getting ready to go live, I just recorded a mogul mail. That's why I'm a little bit late. I actually wasn't even going to stream today. I wasn't supposed to stream today. Actually, I was supposed to stream today. But I wasn't gonna stream today. Because I ended up doing the Yard Primo. I recorded a mogul mail about a Twitch streamer who lied about being black for 2 years. And then I was going to do Baldur's Gate 3. I was going to do Baldur's Gate 3 today. And I was like, I won't stream. And then I see this and I have to go live. I need to freaking MatPat, man. I might be 28 damn years old, but I'm still young enough that I watched MatPat growing up. How else are you supposed to find out about Ocarina of Time game theory? How else? Is Link dead in Majora's Mask? How else am I supposed to learn? So anyway, I got to watch this video. While I've been getting ready to go live, by the way, though, I saw this tweet. Twitch reportedly set to lay off 35% of the staff as soon as tomorrow. What the fuck? What the hell, man? Jeez. What's going on? So anyway, we'll ignore this for now. Let's just jump right into it. I usually like to dilly-dally. I usually like to thank members, but I want to get right into this. I want to watch this video. Let me tag the entirety of my Discord. Let them know I'm live on youtube.com because it's going to be a kind of a short stream because I have to play Baldur's Gate at 5 p.m. It's trending? Yeah, of course it's trending, dude. It's fucking MatPat. There are few YouTubers who are as much of an institution as MatPat. The guy is, look at the views. 4 billion. And that's not even including his other channels, of which there are many. Anyway, I've been seeing a trend lately, and I talk about this sometimes. I always say, someday, Chad, I'm going to retire and I'll be gone forever. And it's true, I will. We're not there yet, but it's true. But it's easier to say that, and it's much harder to do that. He has 666 videos. Wait. Pause.
It's not clickbait. On March 9th, I will be hosting my last...
Wait, pause. That's wild. Okay, let's watch the video. I gotta stop dilly-dallying. Let's just watch a video.
It's not clickbait. On March 9th, I will be hosting my last Theory episode, at which point I will be handing off the channels to someone else.
Dude, you know what this reminds me of? Who in chat's old enough to have watched Blue's Clues when they switched hosts? Because that's the instant vibe that I got. Who was the original host? Was it Steve? And they switched to, what's the new guy? Oh, I forget the new guy's name. John or something? I remember that Joe. It was Joe. I stopped watching. I gave up. I was like, bro, I'm here for Steve. I don't care about blue and magenta. All they go is... Okay, all right. I got to keep it watching.
There it is. That's it. Send tweet.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. Anyway, okay. Sorry. Inappropriate.
We're all done here. That's all you need to know, right? Oh, wow. Forgive me, by the way, if I'm a little bit more disorganized than usual. Normally, I would want to script out something like this pretty precisely. But with an announcement like this, I wanted to bring it back to just us. There's no one else in the room. There's no teleprompters. There's no nothing. It's just the way that this whole thing started.
I hate that he's crying. I wish he wouldn't cry. It's making it harder to watch. I understand why he's sad, obviously. I wish he wasn't. I wish. It makes me feel so much sadder about it. Okay, all right. All right, we're fine.
It's a conversation between us. And sorry that I keep getting emotional about this.
It's okay. I was actually just flaming you for it. I'm sorry. Wow, Jesus Christ. You knew what I was going to say. Fuck, he's so good. He's so good.
Try not to, but it's a big deal.
Okay.
You know, like, if you think about it, this channel is Steph and my first child, really. Before we had Ollie, before we had Skip, MatPat, like, it was this. This was our baby. This channel has been going for 13 years. I think in total it's somewhere around like 1,200 theories. And only half of those are FNAF. Shocking. I know, we actually did stuff that wasn't FNAF related. But this has been a literal third of my life. And I'm going to miss you.
Dude, what the fuck? Jesus Christ. This maybe puts me on the outside of most people who like MatPat and like watching game theory. I stopped watching when he started FNAF. I'm like a pre-FNAF game theory enthusiast. And then he was FNAF, and I was like, oh, I'm too old for FNAF. And I don't think that's true. I think you can enjoy FNAF at any age. But that's what I felt like at the time. FNAF came out, I was like, oh, I'm too old for this. I'm not going to pretend to be scared anymore. I'm 18 now. And then, you know, he went from a big YouTuber to a fucking massive YouTuber institution. All right.
I'm going to miss this. I value what we have here. I value this conversation, this openness, this relationship that we share. And I'm sad that I won't be able to see you every week.
Dude, what the fuck? Just keep uploading.
Then I guess prompts the question of like, why?
Yeah, thank you.
Why am I doing this now?
Yeah.
Why am I?
Wow, dude, he's actually really good at like knowing what the viewer wants to know next. Okay, yeah. Okay, that is what I wanted to know. If it's so sad, then why do it? Just don't do it. But why though?
I'm making this announcement today. Why am I walking away from the channels? Well, to be honest, it was Tom Scott. You can blame Tom Scott. Tom just did his farewell video, and I'm like, well, he was able to do it.
You pulled it off in a week? I don't buy that. I don't buy that. By the way, Tom Scott's video, also phenomenal. I don't know if you guys watched. I watched Tom Scott's. I wasn't streaming. I don't know what I was doing. I watched it offline. That video is phenomenal, too. Tom Scott, a legend. My only communication ever with Tom Scott, I say, hey, Tom, I got this show in L.A. It's called Mogul Money. It's kind of like Jeopardy. Would you want to compete? Because I wanted a bunch of brainiacs on it. I thought it'd be a funny episode. He replies, he goes, Dear Ludwig, your show is a one-to-one ripoff of Jeopardy. If you won't get sued, then you're on the precipice of getting a cease and desist. I will not be participating. Thank you. And I was like, fair enough, Tom. Could have just said no, but I respect that. Could have just said no, buddy. But all right, I'll take it.
I want to be able to fly away in a helicopter. Obviously, that's not it. But really, my reasons for making this announcement today is probably largely the same as Tom's reasons, or Seth Everman's, or Captain Sparkles, or Papa Meats, or Stampy Longheads. Like,
Papa Meats retiring? When did that happen?
Or Seth Everman's, or Captain Sparkles, or Papa Meats, or
his is a break because he got burnt out? Because he's been doing a lot of streaming lately, right? He's been doing streaming. Living under a rock. Okay, I'm not living under a rock because I didn't. It does feel like there are a lot of YouTubers retiring, though. This does feel like it's a trend.
Or Stampy Longheads. Like, there's a lot of these videos that are coming out these days, and there's going to be a lot more happening throughout this year. Steph and I have known this video would be coming for the last 3 years. We weren't sure it was necessarily going to be today. We didn't know exactly when it would fall, but we knew it was going to happen eventually. That's why over the last couple years we've been staffing up so much. That's why we partnered with a larger company to help run the channels. That's why we've been spending so much time outside of this box training up the team to make the best videos that they can, because we knew that we couldn't do this forever. We knew that, honestly, we didn't want to do this forever. For as much as I love you, and I love overthinking things, and I love theorizing, I don't love late nights. I don't love the fact that Steph and I have been work first for over a decade, where I'm sitting down at dinner with my best friend, and we're talking about business logistics, or we're talking about animatronic toes. I miss the days.
They do work a lot, I will say. I've run into Steph and Matt 2 or 3 times at a few events. They're workers. They're also consummate professionals. I think we were at a VidCon, and we were supposed to do a panel together. Panel's probably 11 o'clock. I think I pull up at 10:56. I think Matt and Steph had been there for 45 minutes. They had jotted down like 4 different note cards of what we're going to go over. It was like a conversation with, I think, maybe Leo of YouTube Gaming. I was like, what's up, bitch? Went great. Great panel. But they are hard working.
Where I could just sit down on the couch with her and play video games, and it's not for content. Or I'm playing a game and I'm not thinking about what theories are going to come out of that. I miss it. So that's a big reason. That was a big one right there. But also just the internet's changing. My life has changed in the last 13 years.
Okay.
I mentioned Dolly before. He's the coolest little dude, and he's getting older by the minute. And I watch him, and he has so much fun. And he is so much smarter than I was when I was his age. He also probably knows the FNAF lore better than I do, which is a problem that I should probably address at some point. But honestly, I want to be able to spend more time with him.
Dude. Okay, I know that's not what this video is. But you know how in like certain cultures or countries, Japan is an example, they pass down their business generation by generation? Imagine that, but with game theory. And he had waited like 18 years, and then he passes the keys of the kingdom to Ollie, and then he's the game theorist. And it goes for, it's an institution for generations. That would be kind of lit. I don't think that's ever happened. But imagine.
Another sad fact of the matter is I'm getting older. I'm 37 now.
Excuse my face. You look great. That blew my mind. It makes sense on paper because of how long ago he started. That blew my mind. Honest to God, if I had to take a stab, I would have said 34.
The other day, I actually had to Google my own age. And you know that when you have to start like doing math in your head to calculate how old you are over the hill, my friends.
Never done that. I know it. 28. Bang. Like that. Never had to think about it. No math. Such a small number for me. Sorry, this is less about me, more about him.
To be fair, to my credit, I think I'm like the only 37-year-old out there who has an unironic appreciation of Skibbity Toilet. Then again, maybe that's the problem, right? Like, maybe that's not a good thing. And honestly, because this is all about us being honest, there is a bit of a selfish side to this. When you think about it, there's only really 2 ways to step away from a YouTube channel. You either just decide the day that you stop uploading and you're like, I'm done, or you just keep uploading videos from now until the heat death of the universe, and you watch as your relevance slowly dies or your passion slowly dies. And for me,
that is true. And this is not exclusive to YouTube. This is the classic Scorsese versus Tarantino argument. The 2 famed film directors. Tarantino wants a library of 10 total films. That is his legacy. And Scorsese wants to make films until the day that he dies. Even if, towards the later years, they're not as good as they used to be. Oh, okay. He's chilling. Oh, he'd be vibing with me. I don't know which is better, by the way. I don't know if I know the answer to this. I think as somebody who does create, I'm not going to pretend I'm Scorsese or Tarantino, obviously. But I think Tarantino makes a lot of sense. I think it does. Because, like, 100 years from now, he will be judged on just the 10 films. And there are people who just keep pumping out shit and they're not as good. And they do kind of naturally fall off. Why not both? Well, are both being correct? Yeah, they can both be correct. I guess it's based off the personal preference. But I see why Matt refers to it as selfish, to want to have an ending that he has control over, as opposed to a natural ending based off of relevance or financial success or whatever.
For me and my journey in this place, I always wanted to go out on a high note. And when you stop and look at the last year, this has been the best year in the theorist lifespan ever. Like, no joke. It is our highest view year. It is the year where we launched Style Theory and immediately put our foothold in a brand new space, and that took off, and now we're one of the top style and fashion channels on YouTube. And that kind of completes the trifecta of, hey, we now have a top channel in 4 different verticals that are completely different, and no other YouTuber really has ever been able to do it to that scale. That's amazing. This was also the year where I was able to meet you guys at our Broadway show. I was able to play at the PGA and show that, hey, YouTubers aren't particularly good at golf, but they can make your event relevant for like a couple of minutes. It was also the year that
Oh, damn.
I got to host the Streamy Awards, and it wasn't cringe. I mean, to be
You're still the GOAT.
fair, the Streamy Awards are always a little bit cringe.
Thank you. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it. Now's not the day for me to say that. Thank you.
But it was the right amount of cringe.
That's fair. I'll give you that. That's fair. I liked it better than the year before, for sure. I liked it better than the Iraq hosting year. I was not an enjoyer.
When I pull up videos of all my favorite creators and I watch them, and all of a sudden I start hearing people just casually dropping, "That's just a theory."
It's just a theory, a game theory.
Now, this is just a theory, people.
At the end of the day, it's just a game theory.
That's just a theory. A Freebirds theory.
Also, a lot of lore, so
That's just a theory. I'm not in this video. That's just a theory.
if you're a big theory head, proceed at your own risk.
I did not know about this theory.
That's a theory.
That right there, that is incredible. And that's the note that I want to leave on. And that's how you just know it's the right time. All of those reasons coming together, saying, hey, this is the moment. And that's hard to say, because change is scary. Change is hard. But sometimes the right decision isn't the easy decision. The easy decision would just be to carry on doing this and do FNAF Part 332. But that wouldn't be the right decision. I think the best way to explain it is with a video game analogy. Feels appropriate, right? Whoa, it's game theory. Ha!
Okay.
Did it. Check
Hello, gamer.
the game part of it off. But the way I like to think about it is Earthbound.
Hello.
I think I've made it pretty clear over the years that that is, without question, my favorite game of all time. Sans Nest, all that, you're all familiar with that. But what you might not be familiar with at this point is how the game ends. At the end of Earthbound, after you save the world, everything opens up to you. You can revisit every single location that you've been to. You can talk to every NPC that you met on your journey. And it's this incredible moment as a gamer. You see,
This is a aside. Is Earthbound still fun? Like, would it be fun for a 28-year-old to play Earthbound now, in the year of our Lord and Savior, when we have Baldur's Gate out? Yeah. Okay.
just how many lives have been impacted thanks to your journey. And then after spending as much time as you want talking to all those people, you end up back home. You go back to where it all began, where you were just a kid waking up in bed and starting your adventure. And even though your mom's there and your dog's there and your weird telephone dad's there, it feels different somehow. Like, sure, this is still a place of love and acceptance and comfort and security, but you just don't quite fit anymore. Because you
I got no clue.
just traveled the world. You made all these new friends. You are different. You grew up, and your relationship to this place grows up. It evolves. In case you couldn't tell, I'm Ness, which I guess would also mean that I'm also Sans. But I was also Ness in the FNAF movie, which just opens up all sorts of weird canon. Slap a thumbnail on that one. So anyway, there you have it. That is why I'm leaving. I hope you can understand. But that obviously begs the question of, like, what happens to the channels?
That's a good question. What does happen on the channel, sir?
Well, for the next 10 weeks, we're going to have ourselves a big old going away party. If Unis Annus taught us anything, it taught us that you probably shouldn't use urine for a personal sauna. But if Unis Annus taught us two things, one was to not soak in your own urine, but two was to appreciate the time that you have left. So that's why over the next 10 weeks, we're going to have a bunch of theories that are going to be a lot of fun, revisiting old favorites, getting some closure on things. We're going to see some familiar faces.
Dude, okay. I get why he doesn't just end it cold turkey, but the next 10 weeks are going to be depressing. I feel like all the comments are just going to be, don't leave, please don't leave, like no one's going to be like, oh yeah, that is a cool theory. Like it's going to be really hard to enjoy it without the context of what's happening in this countdown.
A lot of awesome stuff. Although to be fair, I think it's 9 weeks, and I think we counted this one as week 1. That was stupid of us. That, my friends, is how you wind up getting Wario being 10 feet tall. Mathematical rigor. Should have double-checked the numbers. So I have 9 theories left on each of the channels.
Okay.
But we're going to call them MatPat's Final 10 because that just sounds better. At which point then on March 9th, we're going to have that big going-away celebration, MatPat's Final Theory, and I just dust away. I stand astride my Music Man, and I just whipping Nene off into the distance.
Dude, that'd be lit. If he live streams and he just, oh my God. He's thinking.
But then something special happens. Do the channels go away with me? No, actually. I've always thought that anyone can be a theorist, right? If you are passionate about a topic and you love to overthink it and over-research it, then congratulations, you're a theorist.
The MatPat Game Theory hosts America's Got Talent event where he finds the next game theorist in an event where they all present to see who will be the next Willy Wonka.
Theorist. And that could range from, hey, I have family recipes that I'm constantly looking to refine, to, hey, I want to create the perfect fantasy sports team. Because here's the thing, sports pros, at the end of the day, if you are in the statistics and numbers and doing calculations to see if your team won or lost, you're just playing a glorified Dungeons and Dragons game. Hate to break it to you, you're one of us, my friends. And sure, game theory is a format that I created. It's a show with this very excitable host who makes a lot of cringy dad jokes and says the word lore a lot. But at the end of the day, it's more than just the host. It is a show. It is a format. And in a broader sense, it is a state of mind. It's a way of thinking and approaching the world around you. It's more than just the host. And when you think about it, not a lot of YouTube channels function that way. We're special in that regard. Like, you're not going to be able to get another Markiplier stepping into the Markiplier channel. And you're never going to be able to recreate Jenna Marbles. And to be honest, you're never going to get another MatPat either. But you can have another game theorist.
You can, but the shoes are pretty big to fill. And you unfortunately can't have one without the biggest devil of all, comparison. That'll be tough. Because, like, there are institutions that far surpass the host. I'm thinking game shows. That's the best example, right? Family Feud has existed for years before Steve Harvey. Will exist for years after Steve Harvey. Even Jeopardy. But some, I don't know if they could. I'll give you a show. I don't know if I could watch it with another host. Ridiculousness. I don't know. I don't know if it would work. I think it needs that Rob Dyrdek touch. Unless they get Nick on ridiculousness as the perma host, I don't know if it could work.
Can have another film theorist.
Some did try and failed. I'm thinking of, Mythbusters is a good example of a show that is just a formula that could have anyone host it, but didn't work with the new hosts. Some others have never had a new host, but definitely could work with the new hosts. Survivor probably works without Jeff. Top Gear doesn't work with new hosts. Yeah. I think it depends.
Or food theorist or style theorist. I think in a lot of ways, we almost function kind of like the Doctor Who of YouTube, where as one host fades away, a new one kind of respawns in their place. And they're able to put their own unique spin and flavor on the format and make it their unique thing. You have eras of the different theorist channels. And so, you know, my era is fading away and someone new is coming in. Maybe this is the David Tennant to Matt Smith transition, right? That was a good, solid series of episodes right there. So who then is going to be taking over the channels? Well, I don't know if you've noticed this, but fewer and fewer of the words that I'm saying in any given episode are actually mine. If you go down to the credits, you can actually see in the description that there are certain names that have been appearing more and more frequently.
Hello, Tom.
Like, yeah, I'm listed on every single one as the writer because I touch every single script. I polish it into my voice. But in all honesty,
It's crazy his name is Matthew Patrick. I feel like we're not talking about that enough. Thank you, the 50 gifted Mike.
the bulk of what I'm saying is coming from someone else. It's their research. It's their work. Why should they have to filter their creativity through my voice? I've always envisioned these channels as a place where we could spotlight all sorts of creators. I mean, it even goes back to the original URL of this channel, right? It isn't game theory. It was always the game theorists, because this was a place where you could find a lot of like-minded creators, all with a passion for gaming and education. That's why we had the partner shows like Gaijin Goomba with Culture Shock.
Oh
or
my
Drake
God.
with Smash History. Or
Holy shit, Gaijin Goomba. Oh my God. I feel like I went through a Jimmy Neutron nostalgia blast.
or Ryder with A Brief History, or Austin with The Science, and Lee with Breakdown. They were all here because we all had a similar goal: to educate people through the lens of gaming. And then YouTube pivoted and then made it so that way doing a channel in that style doesn't really work anymore. But we still tried to keep that ethos alive by making sure that we're regularly covering small...
Dude, bring the Goomba back. Gaijin Goomba is the new host of Game Theory.
indie projects. Stuff like OnlyCans, like Mandela Catalog, like OWO. OWO? See? I learned. But if we're doing that for all these other creators, why aren't we doing it for the creators on our own staff who have been in the trenches doing the research, writing these words to deliver to you over the last couple years?
Sure.
I have been fortunate. I have been so blessed to have this platform available to me that you've given me over the last 13
Is this
years.
a slow zoom?
But I think now it's time to pass it on to the next generation.
It's a slow zoom.
It's time to give someone else a shot. But I realize that I'm getting off track here. So back to the question, who's taking over? First off, it's not going to one person, but rather 4. I would not wish my schedule on anyone. Like, sure.
4? I don't know about 4. 4 is a lot. That's, I guess his shoes are so damn big to fill. You know what I'm curious about? I think usually the best way to get a new host into a role is to have them appear in some fashion. Now, it's possible this has happened. They are writers as well. But basically have them do a bit of hosting and then do a soft swap as opposed to a hot swap. Yeah, kind of like Vsauce. Vsauce is a good example. They've already been doing that. I guess I don't know who the people are, so maybe I'm cutting off.
I'm willing to not sleep for the last 13 years of my life, but I feel like as old man YouTube passing this along to the next generation, I should probably do my best to try and make it more sustainable for them. It's also going to people that you're already familiar with. You've seen them showing up in shorts. You've seen them here on the couch with me for GT.
Okay, yeah, this fucker knows what he's doing. Okay, all right. You know what? Toss out my idea. I don't even need percentage for it. But they took it from me. Time travel, great.
Live. You've sometimes seen them washing their hair with me in my own shower. Don't read too much into that, but it is accurate. Most importantly, though, they're each an expert in their own individual subject matter, and they've been spearheading the creative of the channels for the better part of the last year. And I think what's maybe the most fascinating about all of this is that each of the 4 of them come to us from a completely different angle. You know, so for instance, you have Lee, right? Lee's going to be taking over film theory, and Lee has been with us for 10 years. 10 years. It's crazy. I believe he was actually editor number 3 for the channels. We had Ronnie, and then we had Ryder, Foot of a Ferret. And then we had Lee. I think his first theory that he ever worked on was Rosalina's Peach's daughter, Peach is Dead. One of my all-time favorite episodes that we've ever done on the channel. And over time, he rose up. He had his own show on the channel here. He had Breakdown, which were these just beautiful documentaries that were edited in such an incredible way. And since then, he's been spearheading a lot of the...
I bet the videos were great, but when the googly eyes come out and he's saying they were beautiful documentaries, it is funny.
Creative on both the writing and the visual side. And then, of course, you have Amy over on Style Theory. And Amy is actually a very different case here. When she first approached us, I think it was 6 years ago, she didn't know about the channels. All she knew was that she wanted to learn everything that she could about digital video, and that Theorist was kind of the place that you went to learn that stuff. Like, we were the best when it comes to analytics and optimization and programming and things like that. She got in and she just devoured everything that we threw at her. So much so that she eventually got to the point where she was so good that she was consulting the largest mobile game company in the world based off of the stuff that we were working on here
Niantic?
in studio. It's incredible. And all of
Supercell?
that while being responsible for packaging.
Matt's here? No, he's not. Don't lie to me, chat. You know how susceptible I am to lying. I've been scammed out of $100,000. You can say pretty much everything, and I'm going to believe it. So you have to be gentle with me. He is? Again, you're doing it. And you have to know I'm sensitive. Wait, it's... I can't tell. I can't tell. You guys are confusing me. I'm in an emotional state right now. Look, until I see confirmation from a mod, we're just going to assume that his presence is a theory.
Somewhere around like 500 episodes across all the channels. And then she helped me and Steph brainstorm Style Theory for 2 years before the channel eventually launched, hoping that maybe one day she would be able to rise into the hosting role for it. And now here it is.
Can I say something controversial? When he initially announced Food Theory, which came before Fashion Theory, I thought, man, this channel will never work. I thought that, and that's not a nice thing for me to have thought, but I did think that. Because I was like, who's going to watch videos about theories about food? And then lo and behold, that shit fucking worked. I was impressed. I was like, damn. And then I was a firm believer in that team's ability. You're not subscribed to that channel? If you still subscribe to things on YouTube, you're a sheep. It's a fake number. It's a fake number. Susan killed it when she was here. Now Neil has to keep it alive, but it's fake. The videos just end up on your feed. Think about it, man. It's the algorithm.
Then, of course, you have Santi and Tom. Santi over
Don't unsubscribe, please. I'm actually being fucking for real. It'll hurt my feelings. Stop.
on Food Theory and Tom over here on Game Theory. And interestingly enough, they both grew up watching Game Theory. We were their childhood show, which, to be fair, just shows how old we are. Santi would eventually go work at Mythical with Rhett and Link before coming here, where he is bravely spearheading Food Theory and letting me mercilessly make fun of all of his recipes. He's much better than I give him credit for. I just like giving him a hard time. And then Tom, he worked at Disney and Fox, but he knew all along that he wanted to be here, right? Like, this was his aspirational goal. He wanted to write here. He emailed...
Dude, the resume on the employees is crazy. My first editor, Shake Drizzle, can smoke 3 spleefs without falling asleep. And his job before this was making highlights in League of Legends with Master Yi, I think? Or maybe Yasuo. I'm not exactly sure. I won't lie.
Emailed us a cold email outreach. We just miraculously saw it, decided to audition him, and he crushed it. His first episode that he worked on was actually watching every single...
Oh, it's Lee Sin. Oh, I'm such a bad boss. It is Lee Sin.
Installment of the Pokemon anime to calculate Pikachu's level. And to be fair, that was his pitch. Like, I have asked people to do some crazy things in the past, but not even I'm that brutal. Like, you can only watch Team Rocket blast off so many times, but he's like, this is an episode I'm passionate about. I think I'm going to knock it out of the ballpark, and I'm going to show you how committed I am. And he has been so committed ever since. So committed, in fact, that I told him, hey, if you're joining the channels, you do realize that you're going to have to read every single FNAF book. And he's like, boom, he did it. And we're up here going crazy in the FNAF attic. But not only did he read every FNAF novel, he also read every single Hello Neighbor book. Yeah, he went that far. Currently, he's working his way through Bendy because the new movie's coming up. If nothing else, I think that really proves his level of commitment and also his appropriate level of insanity. He's a bit off the cuff at times. Like, I don't know if you saw on a recent GT Live, but Tom was here on the couch with me, and he actually denied that the moon existed, which was a choice.
Main character from the chat says, that sounds like somebody who doesn't have a flag on the moon.
I mean, that's if you believe it's even there.
Dude, I would love for the new host of Game Theory to take us in a direction. Ditch the games. Let's just go full conspiracy theory. Okay? Nancy Pelosi, Blood Boys. Let's talk about the lore. I feel like we could get somewhere, you know?
The moon?
I don't think he actually believes that, but if he does, we're going to get some weird Majora's Mask theories, let me tell you. When I go out at this point, I am recognized at least 5 times. It's crazy. It's a really high number at this point. And it's a fascinating split because 50% of the time it's like, oh my gosh, you're MatPat. You were my childhood. I loved watching your FNAF theories. And I'm always like, well, you know, FNAF's still going. And they're like, what? No way. And we talk about the new game and it's always really fun. But the other half is, oh my gosh, you're MatPat. You are my childhood. I'm watching you right now. I loved your most recent theory. That's awesome. That's such an honor. I have been so honored to be a part of all of your lives. But I think it's time for someone else to have that honor. I think it's time for someone else to get to ruin some childhoods. And that just kind of leaves us with one final question, right? Which is, what about...
Do you still own the channel? That's my question. Are you still owning the channel? Are you overseeing it? Are you watching stuff go out? Did you sell the channel? Do the employees own the channel? Does the company that you hired to help you make videos on the channel?
About me? You know, where do I go? Do I just retire
That's what I
to a
wanna know.
beach somewhere? Do I whip a nene off into the distance? No. I'll still be here. Obviously, first off, we've got our final 10 episodes, like I
True.
said. So that's, well, it wasn't 10
It's nine
episodes. However
episodes.
many episodes are left between now and March 9th, we got those. I'm going to be on GT Live from now until the foreseeable future, probably until the end of the summer. That feels about right.
Oh,
and
that's
then
great.
we have the big going away video on March 9th. After that, I, stand aside as Santi, Lee, Amy, and Tom step up and take over the hosting role. But
Dude, it's like the Master Splinter meme. Has somebody made that? If you want Twitter likes, it's MatPat and he is Master Splinter, and it is the 4 baby Ninja Turtles who are the 4 people taking over the theory episodes, and then it's you guys know what I mean.
But I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to be alongside the creative directors talking about programming, brainstorming ideas for upcoming episodes. That's awesome. I love that. I don't want to give that.
Actually, can you guys send that to me? I'll tweet that one out. I got that, baby. If you want to just send me that one. Well, I'll put you in the credit. I'll put you in the credit.
Up. But the other cool thing about this is that
Smallest in chat. Hello, Smallet.
it opens up the door for me to turn the script. For the last 13 years, I've been commenting on other people's IP, but now that I'm stepping out of those roles, I get to create the IP. Still as a part of Theorist, but I get to create things that are going to challenge those new hosts of the channel. Things that I've had in the back of my mind from years of studying media that I can now make a reality, and the channels can comment on them. Things
He's making video game?
like, for instance, I have a lo-fi mystery series that I think you're really gonna dig. It's basically like if you took a lo-fi channel and applied an ARG narrative to it, it becomes lore-fi. I am so stoked about this. The music is sounding really good. The animations are coming together really well. That's going to be launching in a couple weeks. We'll see if Lee over on Film Theory is going to be able to solve it. In April, I'm actually going to be coming back onto Style Theory to host a giant fashion show that we're doing there. We all collectively had this thought of like, hey, online brands, online influencers are coming up with their own apparel lines. Why is there no place to showcase that sort of stuff? And then it hit us like, hey, we have a style and fashion channel. Why aren't we doing it ourselves? Creators in Fashion by Style Theory, that is coming to you in April, hosted by me. Some of the time that I'm not hosting the channels, I'm going to be practicing my runway walk. Because let me tell you, if I'm sashaying down the runway, if I'm stomping the runway, it's not going to be pretty right now. So I need to practice that a little bit. There's also this animation show that we did a pilot for in like the middle of last year. It's basically like if you took Gravity Falls but aged it up and made it about adulting. It's really, really solid. And also there's this video game idea that I
Dude, okay. All right. So Buddy's not retiring. He is out there. He's not, he's, woof. These don't sound like 20-hour weeks. These sound like 60 to 90 here, Matt.
want to do for like so long that I've never had the opportunity to really like dive into and make reality. But now it's my chance to step into the role of Scott Cawthon and challenge the new game theorist. There's always been the memes about, are Scott Cawthon and I the same person? Not yet, but who knows? Maybe starting later this year. And those are just the immediate things that I have on my to-do list because I want to make fun, cool things for you. And even if it's not a weekly episode, I still want to give those things to you because I think you'll like them. You matter to me. You are so important to me. Every single one of those people who
I'm starting to think he's parasocial. I guess you have to be after you've been doing it for over a decade. That is pretty much your entire life.
stop me on the street, it's an honor, right? It's interesting. Because of this whole transition, I've been thinking a lot about my time on these channels and the evolution that we've gone to together. In the beginning, right, I was kind of like the edgy older brother where I would talk about like, oh, did you know that Link is dead?
Yeah, you would have controversial titles, and me as a child, it would sometimes upset me because I for one, could not fathom how what you are saying in the title could be the truth. And then for two, I couldn't fathom how you got there. And so it would make me keep coming back for more because how is Link dead?
And let's make some boob jokes. And then at a certain point, I evolved into DadPat, right? I became a little bit more mature. I had the team around me.
I'm sorry. That's the accompanying video when you're talking about how you became more mature?
I evolved into DadPat, right? I became a little bit more mature.
That's the video. We didn't have anything else on file? That was it? That's the big one? The mature folder, that's the one we got. Okay.
I had the team around me. I had to be more careful about who I was saying was dead on a regular basis. Instead of talking about boobs, I ended up talking about Luigi's bulge.
I'll have to bookmark that.
That felt like the right decision. At this point, I think I'm kind of evolving into a Grandpa Pat, you know, for lack of a better term. And just like your grandparents, hopefully cool grandparents, but just like a grandparent, you know, you don't get to see me all the time. And I don't get to see you all the time. And maybe we call and talk to each other every once in a while. But
And then you give me birthday cards, and then I open the card, and I read what you wrote, but fucking bills and stacks fall out of the card, but I pretend I don't see them, and I go, "Dearest Ludwig, another year seeing you is another year worth being here." And I go, "Oh, thanks." And then I wait for you to stop looking so I can count the stacks. Hell yeah.
But at the end of the day, that grandpa loves getting to see you. Maybe he shows up at a special event. Maybe he shows up at a holiday. Maybe he shows up at the Theory Wear fashion show. Who knows? But he so looks forward to seeing you. And the love that he has for you, it doesn't go away. That grandpa is so proud of you. And he cherishes the relationship that you've had so much. And he is so honored to be a part of your life, to have been a part of helping you grow and helping you experience the world. And he looks forward to seeing you at the next event. And if you see him on the street, we'll hang out. And hopefully he brings you cool, fun gifts. I know this is going to sound cheesy. And I know the internet will probably rake me over the coals for crying for one, but I love you guys. I do.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing at the fact that he said the internet's going to rake him over the coals for that. Because who hears this?
For crying for one, but I love you guys.
And then goes, "All right, ladies, let's let the roast session begin." Who wants to go first? This guy's primed for the roasting. Yes. It's so sweet. You would do that? No, I wouldn't. I like genuine shows of emotion. Stop.
I do. You're not just numbers. You're not just ad impressions. You're not just merch sales. What you have done for me, and from everyone I talk to, what I've done for you, is special. It's special. When I was in middle school, I had this goal of making the world a better place because I had been a part of it. It didn't have to be big. It didn't have to be curing cancer. But I wanted there to have been a ripple impact. Just because I was there. Butterfly effect and all that. We've done it. I think we've been able to achieve something great here. You have taken me on the wildest, craziest 13-year ride of my life. And I'm so grateful. So, Grandpa Pat is going to sign out now, and I'll be around for a couple more weeks. I'll be living around the house for
The next 9 weeks are going to be so awkward. Now, but you're here for 9 more weeks and then you're leaving. It just feels like Grandpa Pat's going to hospice. And it feels like, no, just treat Grandpa like normal. He's going to be here for the next couple of months. He's going to be staying here. Then he's going to hospice. He's a better place there. It's a better place for Grandpa Pat. He's going to have Lorify and cartoons. It's a very sweet sentiment. I think it's a good goal, by the way, in life. I've had that goal. Make the world a better place. Campground rules. Make the world a better place than when you left it, in at least a micro way. The way I found to achieve that, at least and feel that personally, is to just help the lives of those around me locally. And then if I want to push that further, it's like helping the local community through I don't know, being a good boss, off-brand, whatever. I do feel less of it in my creator job. And I mean, maybe I don't have the career this guy has. I don't have the shit this guy did, but in the creator job, I don't feel as much of like, hell yeah, that you laugh, you lose. That's another notch in the belt. I've never thought that. But obviously I'm very different, and I have a much different setup than Matt.
a while. We'll have a big family reunion celebration. Then I'll go off to my little shack in the woods, my retirement home down in Florida, and I'll pop in every once in a while. Anyway, at this point in my notes, I had it written that we're going to start a countdown clock of that, like, final 10 episodes, final 9 episodes, so start that. I don't know what it's going to look like yet. Hopefully the editors don't rip off Unis Honest too much. If they do, I hope they change it. And with that, I'm going to say, for one of the final times, not the final time, but one of the final times, as always, my friends, remember, it's just a theory. A game theory. Thank you. Thank you for watching.
Dang. Good video. What a well-spoken man, huh? That's crazy. It's crazy how he can flip from an emotional, like, moment to just like, when I was in middle school, he had that shit down. I bet that was a one take. You know what I'll say about Matt? There are, few YouTubers in my eyes who are also good people. Not to say that most YouTubers are bad people. They're just people. And usually a self-serving person, you know, a certain level of ego, desire for own personal wealth, growth, fame, whatever. And you know, to their credit, they've achieved something to be able to get those things. I don't flame people for that. That's fine. I'm neutral on that. But I feel like Matt is a good dude, which is a hard call to make of someone that you've mostly seen online. But the few times I've hung out with him in person, and then also how he composes himself online, seems like a good dude. So he sold the company already before this video. Is that right? Is that how I'm understanding it? He sold it in 2022. Game Theory sold. Do they still have ownership in it? Okay, I'm going to throw out a theory.
It's not.
I do think he was right when he said goodbye, internet. MatPat is a theater kid. In fact, he made a Broadway show last year. I think the Broadway show gave him so much joy and pleasure. That Matt is switching goodbye, internet, from online content creation to perhaps touring in a theater, making his own musical with his resources now. Or, and this is my other theory, and this one's a little out there. Here's my game theory. MatPat has a video called Goodbye Internet. He has 4 people taking over each of the 4 different theorist channels. The main person taking over the main game theory channel has famously said that the moon might not be real, a conspiracy theorist. This video is video number 666, the devil's number. They're just going full conspiracy theory. It's an Alex Jones. QAnon. Or it's total coincidence. Do you think he knew? I wonder if he knew. I feel like MatPat is too aware to not have known that was his 666th video. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hold up. I'm getting free Twitter impressions. Somebody sent me the meme. Dude, why do they make .webp? It's like the most useless file format. What's a Twitter? Don't make me say X. Boom. Boom. Bing. MatPat, dude. Is it just us getting old? Is that why it feels like everybody's retiring? Because as far as I can tell, Seth Everman, Tom Scott, MatPat, there's even that one dude, what's his name? He was in college. I snuck into a fashion show. Is that it? No, not Courage and Cypher. Is it Zach Aslop? No. Anthpo. It is Anthpo. Anthpo also retired.
Here we are.
Stampy.
Hello, this is Stampy, and welcome to...
Dude, it's so fucking baller to quit. I've said this before. I think it's so fucking cool. Because it's so, like Matt said, easy to keep it rolling. Like, that's the easy thing. But to just straight up quit is so badass. Ludwig, stop it. Look, lucky for you guys, I have this company called Off Brand, and I need that shit to be profitable. And if I quit today, it will die along with me. And I don't want it to die, right? I want it to be a good company that thrives for lifetimes beyond me, if possible. So I can't quit. You're stuck with me for a little bit. Okay? I'm around for a little longer here. And I won't pretend that I've been doing this as long as these guys were talking about. I mean, specifically Stampy and Matt. I've been doing this 6 years, right? Yeah, 6 years. 6 years in May, so I ain't even close. Anyway, chat, this is really what I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to watch this video. I got to play Baldur's Gate at 5 p.m., which is in 3 minutes. So I'm going to switch over to Baldur's Gate right now. But I wanted to talk about this. Give a little bit of respect to MatPat, one of the GOATs. Thank you, Mike, for the 50 gifted again, and Ethanos for the 5. But 2 things before I go. First thing, we now definitely need to do our FNAF lore stream. I've been putting it off. Yes, it is true.
Liv was a pioneer in YouTube streaming.
Yeah.
Look how long they've been streaming. It's crazy.
It's true. I've been putting it off for too damn long. And I need to finish it definitely before the 9 weeks is up. So we're going to do a FNAF lore stream in the next, I'm going to give myself end of the month. I'll get a firm date, FNAF lore stream. We're just going to watch a fuck ton of FNAF. And it's going to be MatPat's videos because we've gotten permission from Matt. So that's 100% happening now. I have to do it. I can't keep stalling because, unfortunately, Matt has given me a clock. And then the second thing, per usual, my Baldur's Gate streams, I've been doing member-only streams. This one is no different than that. Now, don't become a member if you can't afford it or if it's out of your budget or you don't want to or whatever. You can watch it totally for free on Katamina's channel. I upload it on the VOD channel right after. And also, I have a mogul mail for anyone else who is watching this stream, who wants to watch something else of mine. If you want another 10 minutes, I got that for you. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. I just wanted to go live real quick. I know it's a short one, but I wanted to at least watch this, talk about this, express my thoughts. And then we're going to do Baldur's Gate. And then I think I might even play Valorant after. Because Lily asked me to. So that's my game plan. Anyway, guys, the Ludwig channel has been churning out content. Tomorrow, I need to be done with stream by like 7 because I have a dinner. So I should be live earlier. I think we also have an Amazon stream video uploading on the main channel today. We're doing a lot. We're just doing a lot. That's all I need to say. We're doing a lot. We're doing big things. But yeah, let me pivot over. I don't like being late. I'm trying not to be late this year. I'd rather have a quick and dirty stream, show up on time for it, and then be late for stuff. It's my new thing. I'm trying to get better at it. So appreciate you all hanging out. New Mogul Mail has just been uploaded. Main channel video will be uploaded a bit later. Member-only stream is getting started right now. And it's more Baldur's Gate. Blood is kicking us out. I'm not kicking you out. I'm not kicking you out. I'm kind of kicking you out. But I'm giving you a lot of homes to go. Giving you a lot of places to go. And today's the day I will get laid in Baldur's Gate. Without a shadow of a doubt, I will get laid today. Please, we are broke. Bro, check this out. Boom.
Save campsite. Load this, and then Alt-Tab.
Instantly. You can watch exactly what will be happening live. Boom. Easy. All right, chat. Thanks all for hanging out. Again, main channel video will be uploaded in a little bit. Big respect to MatPat. Thank you for everyone who's subbing. 20 gifted from Salty Hypno, Jeffers, Girton, Shelby, MS, T24, Bear, Josh, Lachlan, Kieran Quigley. If I'm saying that right, I hope I am. Hayden, thank you very much. Spider Dust, David. Oh, shit, the outro song's playing, guys. I have to go. Angus, Finley, Javi, Sebastian, Rua, Alex, Grush, Jacob, Ang, Sky, Calum, Brendan, Butler, Distortion, Tap, Nathan. Thank you all. Sorry, they're playing me out. I would love to stick around. They're playing me out. These fuckers, they don't like when I hang out. Come on. You don't have to... Oh, and you're starting the fucking fade to black. Wow. That's so rich. That's fine. No, I'll go. I'll go. Sorry, chat. The producers. All right, thank you all. See you later.